1. The Yellow Sign. Listen, mortal, to a tale best left untold. For there is knowledge that scorches the mind, and truths better left undiscovered. In the ancient sands of Mesopotamia, buried beneath the weight of forgotten civilizations, archaeologist Mikhail Severov unearthed something that should never have been found. A stone tablet, black as midnight, etched with symbols not of this world, and at its center a yellow sign as if forged from frozen sunlight. The moment Severov touched it, he heard a whisper. Not a voice, no, something more. Words in a language no living soul could understand, yet their meaning struck deep into his soul. Hastur, Hastur. The king is coming. That night was haunted by nightmares. Visions of a city with black towers beneath two blood-red moons. The sound of waves from a lake that doesn't exist. And above it all, a figure in yellow robes, its face veiled by a mask of mist. He awoke screaming, or tried to. The cry caught in his throat. For there, glowing on the tent wall in some phosphorescent substance, was the same yellow sign. 2. Whisper from Aldebaran. Days of research turned into months of obsession. Severov studied every symbol, every line on that cursed tablet. The more he learned, the deeper he fell into the abyss of forbidden knowledge. Ancient texts spoke of Hastur, the unspoken name, the king in yellow, the unspeakable one, Lord of Lake Halley, a being not of Earth, but from the depths of the cosmos, where stars sing songs of madness. His nature was like poisoned honey, sweet to the taste, deadly to the soul. Hastur didn't destroy with brute force or flame. Number. His weapon was art, beauty, the allure of knowledge. He was the patron of artists and poets, and every gift came at the price of sanity. The unspeakable's ways were like a spider's web, unseen but deadly. He worked through signs and symbols, through dreams and visions. Cunning and patient, he could wait centuries for the right moment to brush against a human mind. His power was the distortion of reality. Hastur could turn dream into waking, and waking into nightmare. He ruled over mortal sleep, sending visions and prophecies. The yellow sign was his mark, the channel of his will into the human world. Immortal and omnipresent, he existed beyond time and space, but even such a being had weaknesses. He could not fully manifest without a summoning. He feared his true name spoken aloud. He was bound by ancient rituals and symbols, and, as the texts claimed, he could be banished by the protective signs of the old gods. 3. The King's Play. But the knowledge only deepened Hastur's hold on Severov. The yellow signs began appearing everywhere, on walls and books, in mirror reflections. Dreams became more real, reality more fragile. The king in yellow's purpose was terrifying in its simplicity. He was preparing humanity for the return of the Ancient Ones, those who ruled Earth long before mankind. Hastur spread madness, warped perception, and harvested human souls through art and beauty. In an old library, Severov found it, the forbidden play, whose title must not be spoken. The manuscript, inked in blood red on yellowed pages. To read it was to become a vessel of Hastur's will, a window between worlds. People began to vanish. Those who read the play dissolved into air, leaving behind only yellow dust. The city began to change. Strange symbols bloomed on walls. 2 moons rose in the sky, and the sound of impossible waves echoed from the sewers. Reality blurred like a desert mirage. The line between sleep and waking vanished, and over all of it, the laughter of the king in yellow echoed. 4. The Encounter. On the fateful night when the stars aligned just right, Severov made a fatal mistake. While studying an ancient text, he spoke Hastur's true name aloud, and Hastur heard him. The air thickened like honey. The walls began to breathe. And in the center of the room appeared a figure in yellow robes, billowing without wind. Its face remained hidden beneath a mask of mist, but its eyes burned with the fire of distant stars. "At last," whispered a voice that cracked the mirrors. "At last, someone has called me by name." A battle of minds began. Hastur tried to drown Severov's consciousness, to flood him with visions of Carcosa, the dead city beneath twin moons. But Severov fought back, clinging to the last threads of his sanity. He remembered the ancient protective symbols, the signs of the old gods. With a trembling hand, he drew a pentagram on the floor and spoke words once known to the priests of Atlantis. Hastur roared in fury. His form began to unravel like fog in the morning sun. But just before vanishing, he touched Severov's forehead with a spectral finger. "You've banished me," the king whispered, "but I've left a piece of myself in you. Now you are mine, forever." 5. The Yellow Shadow. Severov awoke on the floor of his study. The tablet lay broken in two. The play had turned to ash. It seemed the nightmare was over. But the changes in him were permanent. Severov saw the world differently now. In every shadow he glimpsed the figure in yellow. In every reflection, the twin moons of Carcosa. He understood he had escaped only full possession, but Hastur had marked his soul. Destroying the tablet, Severov thought he'd stopped the spread of the king's influence. But he was terribly wrong. The knowledge had already seeped into the world. Yellow signs appeared on walls, in books, in the dreams of strangers. Severov realized his new role in this cosmic game. He had become an unwitting conduit for Hastur's will, a channel between worlds, and no matter how hard he fought, a fragment of the king in yellow lived within him, waiting. He saw the future, a time when the stars would align again, and the veil between worlds would finally tear, and Hastur would return in all his dreadful glory, leading the Ancient Ones in his wake. But for now, the king waits, patiently in his city beneath twin moons, where time bends and reality obeys different laws. And each time someone glimpses the yellow sign, hears a whisper in an unknown tongue, or reads forbidden lines, Hastur smiles behind his misted mask, because he knows sooner or later his time will come, and when it does, the final veil will be lifted, and mankind will see the true face of the universe. What is reality when the king in yellow touches your dreams? What is truth when lies wear robes of golden beauty? Answer me, mortal, if you dare. But remember, some questions are best left unasked. Some doors should never be opened. Some names should never be spoken. Hastur hears, Hastur sees, Hastur waits, and the yellow sign burns in the night, a reminder that some dreams never end.